Well, let's head out to Nags Head, North Carolina, with Fox Weather Correspondent Katie Byrne. Katie, we've been keeping an eye on these cameras. I just saw some of these new wind reports coming in. I know you were awfully close by, if not right there, when Hurricane Erin was making its close approach, right? This is bringing worse conditions than Erin did.
Absolutely. That's the first impression that you have once you're back in the area, at least mine. But I've actually been to the Outer Banks 3 times this summer, Ian, and this is without a doubt the nastiest and the wettest weather I felt so far. We're getting a bit of a break in the rain right now, but those winds are serious. A lot of people are noticing them, and just nobody's outside because of the winds that we're dealing with. I've been feeling the wind kind of build as the afternoon has gone on. I arrived right around lunchtime. Stopped by a grocery store. I saw people dodging in and out, trying to get to their cars or into the store, and just trying to get away from some of the wind and the rain that's coming down. So the wind is pushing the rain in at an angle. So I haven't felt heavy rain, but the rain that I have felt has been coming down with such force from that wind. It's hard. It feels like it's pelting you. You mentioned some of the strong winds that we're seeing. The strongest of the winds have really come in the last hour or two. Places like Duck, 47-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and you mentioned we could see up to 60. We're going to keep our eye on that as the weather continues to deteriorate here. But as far as the rain goes, some parts of the Outer Banks, wow, that wind is wild. Some parts of the Outer Banks have picked up more than 2 inches of rain already. So this is something a lot of folks are noticing out here. Of course, it's not a huge visitor weekend. We're out of the summer, really, for people who have their kids back in school at this point. So the hotels aren't sold out per se, but there are some people here on vacation nonetheless. Most people we're meeting, though, are locals still. I have barely seen anybody outside here today. The roads, we have some live cameras of North Carolina's Highway 12. This is always something that we like to watch here because this gets you over to the Hatteras Island area. That's where we saw those mandatory evacuations underway when Erin hit this area last month. We have seen some ocean overwash over there, which isn't uncommon, especially in a storm like this, but occasionally you'll see crews out there trying to clear that ocean overwash, the combination of sand and ocean water that's just kind of pooled into that highway. They're making sure that it's still drivable. Haven't seen anything about that road being shut down at all. But even here in Nags Head and north, when you hit some of these towns, you'll notice some ponding on the sides of the road. I'm seeing drivers try to dodge it, drive around it, or slow down as they approach some of that water too. And we've had some power issues. The first thing I noticed when I arrived into Kitty Hawk, which is just north of us, traffic lights were out. We saw crews working on those earlier today. They may still be working on them. Haven't gotten an update just yet. The last update from Kitty Hawk, the town itself, was that there was a power line fire that led to those outages. So the traffic lights were out at multiple different points in Kitty Hawk before you get into the towns of Kill Devil Hills and Nags Head, which is where we are by Jeanette's Pier, which is exactly where I spent some time here for Erin, Ian. But the difference between then and now, there's not a soul out here. I just wanted to make sure. But I look behind me, not a soul. The double red flags are flying, no swimming is allowed, and that doesn't seem to be an issue. It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, holy moly. We're looking at the difference between then and now. And Katie, while you were showing us your report, we were looking at some of the latest numbers here. Where you are, measured gusts now up to 53 miles per hour, 15 miles up the coast. The pier in Duck, 59 miles per hour. You mentioned going to the supermarket. Were folks aware that the winds could be this gusty? I mean, we're middle of the road tropical storm force gusts.
I think it's coming in a bit more potent than expected. I mean, it's got some force, this storm, and people are definitely noticing it. I think when I was in the parking lot, the people that were there seemed to be people who were just trying to get a couple things and get home. You know, no one's spending much time outside, but everyone was just kind of trying to get where they're going. I mean, you don't want to spend too much time out here because that wind is powerful. I was holding my phone. It was blowing it right out into the sand. I mean, I can't remember the last time something like that's happened. Not this summer, that's for sure. Yeah.
Is it kicking up a lot of the sand? We got to get you. I was out there with goggles on last time on the beach. Is that blowing the sand around out there?
It depends where you stand. I did notice it as I was approaching the beach from the parking lot because there are some piles of sand that are kind of blocked from this pier that we're underneath, just in case we get some lightning. We want to have some protection. So there's some piles of sand that haven't been hit with a ton of rain just yet, but most of the sand is actually wet from the tide coming in. The water's come in pretty close at times. You can actually see some sea foam just kind of accumulating there. But then also the rain itself has made this sand nice and damp, which helps with the sand flying around in your eyes. No goggles needed just yet.
Good. That is helpful for sure. But Katie, great job out there. We can hear that wind just ripping. So be safe. We'll be checking back in with you this afternoon. That's Fox Weather Correspondent Katie Byrne.